This is all about the properties of spheres. So these are the list of properties of a sphere that make a sphere a sphere. First, there's the surface area, then there's the volume, then third, there's the fact that every point on the surface of a sphere is the same distance from the center. The surface area or the volume of the sphere can be used to find the radius using the formulas. And then a sphere is perfectly symmetrical and it has no edges or vertices, which means that it's not flat, and it's not a polyhedron, which we'll go into detail later. This is how to find the surface area of a sphere. First of all, you write down the formula, which is surface area equals 4 pi r squared. And as I pointed out here, pi r squared is supposed to be the area of a circle, so you're basically doing 4 times the area of the circle, not to be confused with the sphere. Then second, you have to plug in the numbers, but with this formula, all you have to do is plug in the radius. So, for example, the radius of a basketball is 5.5 inches. So you plug it into the formula, so surface area equals 4 pi r squared now becomes surface area equals 4 pi, in parentheses, 5.5 squared. And then last but not least, you have to solve for the surface area. And when you calculate it, the surface area is approximately 380.13 inches squared. You have to remember to put the squared because it's surface area, which is kind of like area. And also 380.13 is to the nearest hundredth. So now you're going to have to do a guided example, which is, for example, a radius of a ball is 6.5 inches. So using the formula 4 pi r squared for surface area of a sphere, you have to find out the surface area of that ball, which is 6.5 inches. Okay, so this is the answer and the explanation with it. So using step 1, you write down the formula, surface area equals 4 pi r squared. Then the second step is you plug in the numbers. In this case, you plug in the radius, which is 6.5 inches for the ball. So surface area equals 4 pi, 6.5 squared. So 4 times pi times 6.5 squared. And then third, the surface area would be whatever that amount is equal to. So if you calculate it, the surface area is approximately 530.93 inches squared to the nearest hundredth. You have to remember that you have to square it because it's area, and then it's approximately 530.93 because it's rounded to the nearest hundredth. So that's how you find the surface area of a sphere. Okay, so we did the surface area of a sphere. Now another property is the volume. And the volume of the sphere is equal to 4/3 times pi times r cubed, or r to the third power. So the first step, just like the surface area, is to write the formula, which I just said, and it's written right here. Then the second step is to plug in the numbers or plug in the radius, same as the surface area. Now the example I have here is the diameter of a beach ball is 23.3 centimeters. But you have to remember that you have to plug in the radius. And I just gave you that diameter. So if the diameter is 23.3 and the radius equals half of that diameter, you have to get the radius by doing 23.3 divided by 2, and it would be equal to 11.65 centimeters exactly. So the volume would be equal to 4/3 times pi times 11.65 cubed, or 11.65 to the third power. Now the last step you have to do here is you have to solve. So volume is approximately 6623.18 centimeters to the third power, or cubed, to the nearest hundredth when you solve it, when you calculate it. And you have to remember that now, since it's not surface area, you're not squaring anything. This is volume, so you're cubing your answer. And you have to remember the unit is centimeters, because I wrote in my example, beach ball equals 23.3 centimeters. So your final answer for this example is approximately 6623.18. Now, I'll give you some time to do the guided example. And the example is a globe's diameter is equal to 7 inches.
Okay, so this is the answer to the guided example. First, you have to write down the formula, which is volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. So we know that the diameter equals 7. The radius equals the diameter divided by 2, so the radius is 7 divided by 2. When you work that out, the radius equals 3.5 inches. So now we plug in the radius. So now the formula is volume equals 4/3 pi parentheses 3.5 cubed. When we work that out, we get volume equals 179.59 inches cubed to the nearest hundredth. Because it's volume, we cube it. We have to remember that.